All right. Just, I don't know. I'm a topic I want to make a video on. Okay. Here we are. It's actually an idea I've had written down for a long time, and I've talked to a few people recently, and it just made me, you know what? I have it written down. Talking to some people. I guess why not just let rip out a video, right? All right. I'm gonna do the best job I can with how I feel. Okay. All right. Keep a good attitude. Here we go. All right. So yeah, becoming obsessed with your Suboxone taper. Dude, it's really freaking, I'm just telling you, dude, it's really common. It happened with me. And it happens to a lot, dude, so many people I talk to. The ones too that, as you get lower in your dose, and like crunch times coming up in the next couple months maybe or whatever, or and you're really trying to take less, and it is crazy. You just freaking become, it's obsessed. Yeah, I mean, it's your all-consuming thought. It can keep you up at night. I mean, it can really stress you out. Actually, I mean, it's good, but or there's pros and there's cons with it. Really, seriously, like because I do think that you can become just too obsessed. You just become just so obsessed where you're stressing. I mean, you're stressing all the time. You're putting yourself through and honestly, another thing though, like I was thinking about was like when you become so obsessed, okay? Because this is what would happen with me. Here's an example. So I'm all obsessed with my taper, and I'm trying my best. I'm man, and I'm stressing like how and that's the thing. You're always stressing like, how am I ever gonna get off this? I got to get off this now. I got to get as low as I can, and you start kind of and it's like just baby steps, one day at a time, just like freaking everything else, dude, in this whole process, right? But I remember, I'd be like that and just stressing and stressing, Well, if you're like me, which I'm sure a lot of you are like me, you can have a tendency to be a bit impulsive. Or, all the progress that you've made, you decide to use some extra Suboxone, and maybe not even a little bit, but maybe you're down to like a milligram or a half a milligram, and you're able to get a couple 8 milligram strips or something, or a couple 8 milligram pills or whatever, and you just take a whole 8 milligram to get feeling really good or something, and you go backwards. Well, because of that just complete obsession, when you freaking, when you kind of relapse or whatever, yeah, you kind of do. I guess that is a way of, in your taper, you go backwards. And I'm not talking about people, I'm not talking about, because there has been times, yes, where it's like, but this happens too, I guess. I guess this probably would have been a better example, actually, now that I think about it. I'm sorry if this sucks already, or has just sucked the whole time, I guess, but, or if they just always suck and you somehow keep chiming in, I'm really sorry, no. Okay, I'm going to use this as an example. I'm so sorry, I apologize. But let's say you're doing your taper and you're all freaking obsessed and stuff. Well, and you're down to half a milligram, and you are trying, you're maybe on it a week, and you're like, man, I gotta go back up to 0.75 or, 3/4 of a milligram or something like, whatever. And you do that, and you feel guilty, and you feel, terrible, and you have all this guilt. Well, it's like, well, hold on, just wait a minute. Say you went from 3/4 to a half, and then you're on half for a week, okay? And then you go back a day to take 3/4, because you're just really not feeling good, and you got to function or whatever, and then you have all that guilt. It's like, well, just hold on, just wait a minute. Even if you get back on 0.75 for like 4 or 5 days in a row or something, it's like, hey, you still have that week that you only took a half a milligram. Look at it as, okay, I didn't quite accomplish what I wanted to accomplish. I wanted to just take a half a milligram right now and not ever go back to 3/4 of a milligram. But look at it as, hey, you know what? I took a half a milligram for a week. That's less than 3/4. So you look at it as like just a random kind of taper, or you know what I mean? Like, okay, I'm taking 0.75, and then maybe try to do every other day or something like that. Whatever, obviously you can do. But the point is what I'm saying is when you become obsessed, and it just sucks. It really sucks, actually. It really does suck. Becoming that obsessed is, then yeah, you can just get so depressed and down on yourself. And then, like, if you're like me, you might give up or give up for a little bit, or like, you know what, screw it, I'll use a little extra for a few more days and feel good, and then I'll get back on it. But see, like what I was alluding to with me at first, the point that I was going to make, which it's not as good of a point, but like I wouldn't just go back a little bit. If I was gonna, I'm all or nothing, dude. I'm either tapering all out and I'm not budging, or if I'm gonna use extra Suboxone, I'm not gonna just use 2 milligrams. I'm gonna use 8 or something, or you know what I mean? Like, the only reason why I probably didn't use more than that is because, well, Suboxone's freaking strong, first of all, dude. And you really, when you taper, and if you kind of, if you start at, you know, like I started at 32 milligrams and tapered all the way freaking down to less than a half, actually, technically, but you really learn. So yeah, if you go from such a high dose to a low dose, and you know, and you're on a really low dose, and you use a little bit of extra Suboxone or something, you really get a gauge of how strong this medicine is. But the only reason why I probably didn't use more is because of the strength, though, too, is I knew the 8 would do whatever, make me feel however I wanted to feel. But also, then there is with Suboxone, dude, there's a cap. There's a limit to how high you can get. You know what I mean? Anyway, I don't know. What am I doing that for? Why am I talking about that? I don't know. Because I'm me, right? Okay. But honestly, in the same respect or whatever, it can be a good thing to be obsessed with it. It means you're serious. It means you're taking it very, 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 very serious too. So, you know, I mean, yeah, there's pros and cons. I don't know. This video probably sucks because I'm just pointing out obvious stuff. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, if you are obsessed, it's because you care. It's because you really, really, really freaking care, and your heart, you want it in your heart. Obviously, you do. That it's just obvious that you really you want it in your heart. You're not content doing what you're doing or whatever or you know. But sometimes, so it's a good thing, and it's good to have that and just remember like the severity of what you're doing and how important and how serious it is. But you know, if it just takes over, you know, if it just takes over all of your thoughts and all, you know, it's not a good thing, because thinking about it all the time, it doesn't lower your tolerance, you know. And I'll just be straight up, you know, stressing and thinking about stuff, dude. It's like a huge battle for me. Okay. But like I said, it doesn't change the situation. Okay, I lost my train of thought, so I apologize. So I have to edit. So here we go. But what I was saying is, you know, when you're obsessing about your Suboxone taper all the time, and you let it just take over, and you're thinking about it constantly, and it's stressing you out, and like I said, it doesn't change. It's not going to change. It's not going to make thinking about it all the time is not going to make you less dependent on it. You know, it can make things harder. It really freaking can. And, you know, I was going to say is don't put yourself through more hell, than it's already going to be. Because that's all that freaking does. And I'm saying, like, there's good things. I mean, you kind of want to try to find it in the middle a little bit. And I know it can be really, really, really freaking hard. 'Cause easier said than done. Anything with getting off any drug, easier said than done, all right? I'm going to wrap this crap up because I just can't do this, dude. But, you know, something else, too, is I'll just leave with this. I need to start writing stuff down, you guys. I don't know. But just don't become, like, quit looking at other people's progress, and like using that as like your gauge. I mean, to an extent, yes. I'm not saying like, no, just, yeah, as you're listening to me, someone that's gotten off of it, and but I'm just saying is, don't think that, and I know I say this all the time, like, dude, your recovery is your recovery, okay? Your pace is your pace. You might be at a faster pace than them, a way faster pace. I know people on YouTube that whatever, I get it, dude. I know how hard this crap is to get off of it. I'm not faulting anyone for not doing it, okay? But there's people on YouTube that their YouTube channel is a perpetual taper off Suboxone. That's just what it, well, yours doesn't have to be a perpetual taper. There's people that freaking are off of it, okay, like me. I'm off of it. Well, I've been preparing this taper for 4 years, or I've been tapering for 4 years. Yes, there was things that happened. It would have been quicker. My plan was to make it quicker, but it just didn't work out that way. Maybe for the best. I don't know. But so I guess what you get what I'm saying though. It goes for both ways. It's your taper. Get the general information that you got to get, that you want, but just don't get wrapped. Don't become obsessed with that too. Just like, well, this one guy on YouTube said this, and then you're worried. But then you watch someone else on YouTube, and they kind of make you feel better. So then you kind of change, and it's like, no, it is what it is. It's gonna suck. The taper sucks. The taper's not fun. You have to really be dedicated. It's very mental. It's really, I've said this before, it's the Cold War before the war, man. And it's a little bit, it's more than just a Cold War. It's a Cold War with hot moments, at least. I mean, it's sucky. I mean, really, the taper it is a war. It's well, yeah, but yeah, so just don't get too wrapped up in that and keep going back and forth and not being logical and rational with your thinking, okay? Just, keep chipping away at it, okay? And I know it's so hard to not become obsessed with it. I know it because that first, dude, that was me, okay? That was me to a T, So anyway, hopefully this video didn't suck too bad. I don't know if it helps at all. Probably not. I don't know. God bless all y'all. V for victory, okay? Sorry for... Dude, I don't know. I really don't know how I'm going to make videos like this for a while. I don't know. I'll try to some. But like I had another idea I was going to do, and then I decided not to because it's like, no, I want that to be a better video, and I know this one's not going to be that great, or you know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. Anyway, it's just very... My mind is just, well, I'm coming off benzos, and I just recently tapered again, so there you go. So, and I know I'm going too fast, so yay! God bless all y'all. V for victory. God bless and salute.